As MotoGP edges closer to its most dramatic technical revolution in years, the 850cc era, the rider market has erupted with speculation and tension unlike anything seen in recent memory. Though the 2026 season has yet to begin, the paddock is already buzzing with whispers, power plays, and early negotiations that could reshape the entire grid by 2027. While the 2026 grid appears mostly settled on paper, insiders know this is merely the calm before a storm of monumental proportions. The switch from 1000cc to 850cc engines will not only alter the bike's behavior, but also force factories to rethink their lineups from the ground up. Engineers, crew chiefs, and riders alike are bracing for a reset that could redefine dominance in the sport. Ducati's general manager, Luigi Del Igna, confirmed the start of a new chapter. The first 850cc tests will begin early next year, most likely with Michele Pirro as our main test rider. From there, we'll determine the technical direction for the next generation. That single statement sent ripples through the paddock, signaling that the countdown to the next MotoGP era has truly begun. The biggest bombshell of the current transfer window came from Toprak Razgatlioglu, who stunned fans by joining Pramac Racing in a long-term Yamaha-backed deal extending to 2027. The Turkish World SBK icon's arrival marks a strategic gamble by Yamaha, a manufacturer desperate to regain competitiveness after several turbulent seasons. Toprak will be Yamaha's only confirmed rider heading into the 850cc era, making him a pivotal figure in the brand's MotoGP rebirth. His arrival through Pramac Racing, formerly Ducati's powerhouse satellite team, symbolises both risk and reinvention. Yamaha's message is clear: if the factory team can't win now, it will rebuild from the outside. No transfer saga commands attention quite like Marc Marquez's. After 2 electrifying years with Ducati, the 8-time world champion remains the sport's ultimate prize. Despite his contract running beyond 2026, speculation continues to swirl around a possible return to Honda, or even a mysterious new project whispered to be in development for the 850cc debut. Industry sources claim that Marquez's decision could spark a domino effect, influencing where Pedro Acosta, Fabio Quartararo, and others land. If Marquez chooses to move, expect an earthquake across the paddock. Both Fabio Quartararo and Pedro Acosta are also believed to be in evaluation mode, waiting to see which factory adapts fastest to the 850cc formula before making long-term commitments. Quartararo's current deal with Yamaha looks increasingly uncertain, particularly with the brand's fluctuating performance. KTM, meanwhile, seems keen to pair Acosta with another top-tier name, and rumours of a Bagnaia Quartararo or Marquez Acosta super team have already set social media ablaze. If realised, such combinations could redefine modern MotoGP rivalries. While much of the attention centres on future stars, Johann Zarco's 2-year extension with Honda ensures the experienced Frenchman will still be on the grid when the 850cc era begins. At 36, Zarco will be one of the oldest active riders, but his deep technical feedback could prove vital in helping Honda recover lost ground. Meanwhile, Jorge Martin, the reigning 2024 MotoGP world champion, seems to have settled comfortably at Aprilia after a turbulent 2024 transfer saga. Insiders believe Martin could be a cornerstone of Aprilia's 850cc RSGP project and potentially the key to turning the no-alley-based team into a genuine title threat. If early signs are anything to go by, the 2027 MotoGP transfer window may be the wildest in over a decade. Every major factory will be developing new bikes by mid-2026, meaning every top rider will have leverage, and decisions made over the next 12 months will shape the competitive order for years to come. The 850cc regulation change won't just reset the machinery, It could reset the entire MotoGP hierarchy. This looming transition feels less like an evolution and more like a revolution. The sport stands at a crossroads between the precision of modern engineering and the raw charisma of its greatest riders. Marquez, the master of adaptation, faces his biggest test yet. Can he conquer a new era and a new machine at nearly 34? Toprak, the wildcard, brings a fresh dynamic to MotoGP. His flamboyant, aggressive style could expose weaknesses in the new regulations or redefine how the 850cc bikes are ridden. Quartararo and Acosta represent the generational shift, fast, fearless and analytical, ready to inherit the throne if the veterans stumble. One thing is certain. By the time the 850cc engines roar to life in 2027, MotoGP will have transformed not just in horsepower but in hierarchy, identity, and ambition. The countdown to a new era has begun. Behind the scenes, factory teams are already working overtime to anticipate the demands of the 850cc engines. Ducati, Yamaha, KTM, Aprilia and Honda have all established parallel development groups focused purely on adapting aerodynamics, torque delivery and electronics to the smaller capacity format. Engineers privately admit the challenge is enormous. The bikes will need to maintain speed and spectacle while conforming to stricter sustainability targets and reduced fuel loads. One insider described the 850cc shift as the biggest balancing act in MotoGP history, a delicate compromise between raw performance and environmental responsibility. The result? A technical arms race that could push even the wealthiest factories to their limits. The rider market chaos has spilled beyond contracts and into relationships. Rumours suggest that some engineers and crew chiefs have already been approached by rival teams as manufacturers attempt to build all-star technical rosters for the upcoming era. This has caused tension amongst staff, with loyalty becoming an increasingly rare commodity in the paddock. According to one European journalist, what's happening now feels like Formula One in the mid-2010s. Technical staff are being poached almost as aggressively as riders. The paddock atmosphere is described as restless, suspicious, and politically charged. At the centre of it all, the potential rivalry between Marc Marquez and Toprak Razgatlioglu has captured global attention. The contrast between the two couldn't be sharper. Marquez, the precision-driven strategist. Toprak, the flamboyant, instinctive showman. Their clash represents more than a battle for podiums. It symbolises a cultural collision between the old guard of MotoGP and the rebellious spirit of superbike racing. Should their paths cross on equally competitive machinery, the 850cc era might deliver one of the most explosive rivalries since Rossi versus Lorenzo.